Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss why you should always wear clothes that contrast with your background, or we're going to show you how to make Tina's Spice Banana Jam. Hang on till after the break, we'll figure out which one it's going to be. Alright guys, obviously I haven't figured out the contrasting clothing thing, so today we're going to talk about Tina's Spice Banana Jam. We're going to get in there, we got a lot of good footage. We're going to show you how to make something a little bit different with those bananas other than banana bread. So we had heard that there was a shortage of bananas going to be coming out of Colombia. There was apparently a fungus that attacked the banana crop, so while there were still bananas on the shelves, we bought plenty. So guys, we're going to get in here, we're going to put some of them bananas to use. Hope you'll follow along and check out the recipe. Alright guys, we got a fun one for you today. We were listening to the news the other day, and we heard that in Colombia a fungus had taken out most of the banana crop. So later we went to Walmart, we bought some bananas, and then a couple days later we went back to Walmart and the banana shelves were empty. So there might have been a little bit of something to it, but one thing is for sure, we ended up with a bunch of bananas. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm pretty sure you're going to like it. We are going to make Tina's banana butter. So, and if you guys have never seen banana butter, you are in for a treat. We're going to get it all mixed up here, and then we'll show you how we do it, and then we'll show you what it looks like in the can. So hang on, we'll run you through the process. Alright guys, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to make a quadruple batch. We're going to multiply the recipe times 4. The recipe calls for 4 cups of mashed bananas. So we are going to need to mash up 16 cups of, bags? We're going to have to mash up 16 cups of bananas, guys. So we're going to get these bananas open, and we'll get them in the pan here, we'll get them mashed up, and when we get to 16 cups, we'll bring you back and show you what we do next. Alright guys, the recipe that we're working from calls for 8 bananas to 4 cups, and so far we've done, this will be our third set of 4 cups, and the first 2 have worked out. But what we're doing is mashing up these bananas, then we'll put them in our 4-cup measuring cup back here, and then they go over here in the pan. So the first 2 batches have worked out okay. You want to kind of work fast. There's some lemon juice that'll prevent the bananas from browning, but you got to get the bananas mashed up first, and then you add the lemon juice when you start cooking them. So you work quick so they don't brown up too bad on you. That'll help keep your jam nice and golden colored. So we'll go ahead and we'll show you here. That's 8 bananas, and that worked out to 4 cups again. So that works out pretty good. 8 bananas to 4 cups. So what's that? You'll need to do this quadruple batch. We'll use 32 bananas. So good thing we have plenty. But we'll go ahead and get this last one together. We'll get them in the pan, and we'll start adding some other stuff. I'll bring you back when we do that. Alright guys, we're going to jump back in here. Tina's measuring up some lemon juice. We are going 4 times the recipe, so we have our 16 cups of bananas mashed up there. Before we start heating them, we need 1/3 cup of lemon juice. So times 4, we need 1 1/3 cups of lemon juice. We'll get those put in there. You want to do that kind of as quick as you can, because that helps stop the oxidization on the bananas that'll turn them brown. So we'll go ahead and we get that lemon juice in there, and then we're making a quadruple batch. Each batch calls for 1 box of pectin, so we need to get those 4 boxes of pectin in here, and then we'll go on and get this heated up. What are we doing? Bringing it up to a boil?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we'll get this pectin put in here. We're using 4 boxes of pectin, 1 1/3 cups of lemon juice, and 16 cups of bananas so far. Alright guys, we got the bananas, the pectin, and what else is in there? The lemon juice up to a boil. Time for the big sugar dump. You guys are probably getting used to seeing that here. But we are not making a jam, so the sugar Tina seems to have some questions as to whether all this sugar is going to fit in her pan or not.
Yeah.
We may have to switch to a bigger pan, guys. We still got a little bit of sugar left in there. Alright, guys. Let me see if we can get this adventure straightened out. Maybe we'll bring you back. Alright, guys. What we've done is we went ahead and added the rest of the sugar. We got it moved over to the bigger water bath canner. And all we got to do now is bring this back up to a boil. We'll hold that boil for a minute. And then we've got a couple other ingredients to go in we're going to tell you about, because this is a spiced banana. So we'll get those things ready. And when we get this back up to a boil, we'll bring you back. Alright, guys. While we've got this coming back up to a boil, we just got it on slightly over medium heat. But while we bring this back up to a boil, let's talk a little bit about a few different things. The first thing you may have noticed is that it is not the same fruit to sugar ratio that you've seen us do in our other jams, the 5 fruit to 7 sugar. That's because this is not a jam, it's a butter or a spread. So it's not meant to be that thick, you're just trying to sweeten it up. Another question that seems to come up anytime that you can bananas is there is some information out there that says you cannot can bananas. There's 2 schools of thought behind that. One is that they are too thick. We address that with the water bath canning time, with the extended time, and the fact that the jars are hot packed. So that addresses the density of the banana issue. The other one is the acidity level of bananas. And we addressed that earlier with the amount of lemon juice that we used. There are some real time tested recipes out there for this. We've done it ourselves. It's not a big risk. They stay sealed like any other jam. But like anything, there's rules and then there's counter rules. So this one may not be in your USDA book, but we wouldn't show you something if it wasn't safe. So we'll go ahead and we're going to leave this up here. We got like I said, we got enough lemon juice in there to offset the acidity, and the density issue can be overcome with extended processing time. So guys, we're just going to go ahead and put this together. If you have any more questions about it, leave them down in the comments. Not a problem. Glad to address them. But we're just going to keep moving forward and get this up to a boil, and then we're going to get to canning. Alright, guys. We've got our other canner set up here and our water in it. And we've got our stuff here coming up to a boil. Tina, show us your lids there. I'll show you guys that she turns the lids before she puts them in the water. She turns them every other direction. And then when you put them in the water, they'll lay in there like that, and they won't try to stick together when you go to retrieve them back out of the water. So you can still spread them out a little bit, but turning them every other direction helps keep them from sticking together when you go to use them. Just a little trick, we put that in the video before, and a lot of people seem to like it, but we have a lot of new subscribers since then. So, but that's one little trick you can use. But we'll get this up to boiling, then we're getting ready to get canning. We got our sterilized jars out here, they're ready to roll. So guys, we'll just keep moving through this process. So we'll get this up to a boil. We got a couple more ingredients to put in. We'll bring you back when we do that. Alright guys, we're back here. Say hi to you. we got our weck jars out here now. We got a few regular jars. Our stuff has come to a boil, and now it's time to add a couple of the last ingredients. For each batch that you make, you're going to need 3 teaspoons of vanilla. So we're going to be adding 12 teaspoons of vanilla to quadruple the recipe. And you're going to need half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So we're going to add 2 full teaspoons of ground cinnamon to make this quadruple batch. And you guys, you add these ingredients here at the end so that they don't cook or scorch off. So you stir them in, and then you don't take the foam off. You notice we didn't add any butter to the surface. You leave the foam in there, and you just kind of spread it into equal amounts in the jars. But we're going to go ahead and get these spices stirred down in here, and then we're going to go ahead and get the canning. And I'll bring you back when we do that, but it'll be just 1 second. Alright guys, real quick, we're going to get right down in here and fog up the camera. We'll give you a look at that banana stuff. Now, as we can it, you just kind of stir the foam down in there so that every jar gets an equal amount of foam. But we'll go ahead and show you one of these weck jars first. And, what we'll do is This recipe calls for 1/2 inch of headspace versus most jams, which are 1/4 inch of headspace. I think that has to do with the thickness of the bananas. I know a lot of recipes don't like you to can with flour or anything in there. Maybe they think the thickness of the banana might be a danger to the seal. But they want a 1/2 inch headspace on both the weck jars and the mason jars. So we'll go ahead and go with that measurement. But we'll get them up to 1/2 inch of headspace. Then we'll the next step, we'll wipe the rim of the jars down. Look at the little setup we got going on here. But we'll wipe the jars down. Then we got the rings and the glass lids over here in some hot water. But get that wiped down. Then we'll get one seal and one glass lid. When you put the seals on the glass lid and put them on the jar, that little tab you see there facing Tina, that tab will be pointing upwards. When that jar seals, that tab will point downward, and you'll be able to tell that the jar is still sealed by just looking in and making sure it continues to point down. So she's adding the clips, one on each side. Then that one is ready to go. So we'll just set that out of the way. We'll show you how to get one together in a mason jar. We got some regular jam jars here. They're the taller 1/2 pints. We'll go ahead and fill that up to a 1/2 inch headspace. We'll just show you one of each kind, the weck jars and then the regular mason jars. We'll take that one on up to about 1/2 inch of headspace. Then we'll look back here on the stove. We got our lids back here in some hot water, and Tina's got some rings set aside there. So get down there and give you a look at that color on those, but they look really good. We'll show you those later when they come out. But we'll go ahead and wipe the rim on those, and then it's just a lid and a ring just like you would any other time you were canning. So guys, we'll get these put together. We'll probably do most of the weck jars first. Then we'll see how many of these little cans it takes to finish up the batch. But we'll bring you back in a little bit. We'll show you them coming out of the canner and what we ended up with a yield. But right there's what we're starting out with. Alright guys, we got the weck jars in here, and we managed to fit one small one in. So that's 5 out of the 6 weck jars. And we're going to go ahead, we'll get a lid on this, and then we're going to bring it up to a boil. We're going to process for 15 minutes, I believe, and then we'll get them out and show you what they look like. Alright guys, the timer has gone off, and it is time for these things to be coming out of the water. So we're going to follow along with Tina. Pull them out here. We'll let her get a few of these out. We got some bananas over here. Some are spares. The brown ones up front here are going into some banana bread. We should have that recipe for you soon. Okay. We get in here and take a close look at this banana jam here, or banana spread, or banana butter, or whatever you want to call it. It has many names for many purposes, but it's all banana. So guys, we're going to go ahead. We'll finish getting this stuff canned up, and then we'll probably come back and give you an idea how much we got yield out of making a quadruple batch. But let us get the can in here, and we'll bring you back here when we're done. Alright guys, we're going to wrap up this banana jam, banana butter video. You can hear the jars will probably be, some of them still popping, but we're going to get down in here. We'll give you a look at it. There are some of the recipe sites and stuff that say, oh, well, it's unsightly, or it's... Guys, let me tell you, I don't care what you think, it's really, really good. So, our final yield, let's see. We got 6 weck jars. They are a little over a pint apiece. We have 14 half pints. And then we have a pint and a half here that we have put in jars with plastic lids. We're going to be eating those on some ice cream and stuff. We've got a project set aside for them. But the pinging you hear are just jars pinging. We just finished up, got these out of the canner. But like I said, we got 6 weck jars, 14 half pints, and a pint and a half to play with. So, not a bad yield at all. We're glad to have it. Guys, we'll be back in a minute, and we'll talk to you here in just a second. But we'll give you one last look here, then we'll wrap this thing up. Alright guys, that's about going to wrap it up for the banana jam recipe. But we appreciate you guys following along. We hope you enjoyed it. It's really good if you make it, and please report back to us. Let us know how you enjoyed it. But we really enjoy it here. It's a great way to use up a lot of bananas other than banana bread. We've filled freezers with banana bread, so time to make something a little bit different. But if you guys like the content here on the channel, we hope you'll give the video a thumbs up and leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you're canning or cooking or how you're putting up your fall harvest. But if you like the channel, we hope you'll subscribe. Down next to the subscribe button is a bell. If you'll ring that bell, that'll send you a notification whenever we release a new video. Guys, that's a great way to keep up with the channel. So we appreciate you being with us today. We're going to put a link to our previous video up here in the corner, and we hope you'll check that out. That's where we're canning our homemade sauerkraut. And down below, we'll probably in the top comment leave a link to our wish list. You guys can check that out if you want. We're not going to talk a whole lot about it, but if you're so inclined, we hope you'll give it a look. But guys, we're glad to have you come by the homestead. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you in the next one.